Welcome. If you'll recall from a previous video, we talked about how to access the new Spillman Law Incident Form and how to get to it from a law incident table, how to access it from the mobile law form. In this video, we're going to talk about a few more details on filling it out. Previously, we opened it by either going to a law incident, going to the double chevron, and clicking on Summary to open this form. Otherwise, we can go into Mobile, click on this form, and click on Law Incident, and it will allow us to either search for or create a new form. Then we will be able to populate the form or edit an existing form. Once in the form, you'll note that we have different tabs that we can work with. If this incident had some CAD call comments with it, you would notice a button over here that says CAD call comments show. By clicking on that, it would show you any CAD call comments in this area, and they would stay up no matter which tab you clicked on, so you'd be able to refer back to these. It will remain there until you click this button again, and it will say hide call comments at that point. So in the previous version video, we filled some information out in here. For this one, we're going to click on the tab that says offenses. This one has already had an offense added to it. You'll notice in order to validate it, it's got some fields that are required that are in yellow, so that we can go in and populate whatever needs to be populated to satisfy validation. You'll notice that these have detail fields. We can add more if we need to. Fill out whatever we need to populate these particular forms. As we move on, you'll notice we can click Add, and if you'll recall, we can start typing the code that we're looking for. In this case, I may be looking for something like trespass. I can click on that. By double clicking on it, it adds it to it. You'll notice that doesn't require any additional information. I can remove these if I need to as well by highlighting the one I want to remove and clicking on Remove, and it will take it off. You'll see under the tab that says Persons, it will always have an unknown offender. You can click on that and it will give you some dialogue on why the unknown offender exists on here and what the consequences of removing it are until you find an offender. I'm going to maximize this, make it a little easier to see. You'll see there's a button up here in the top left that says Add. Any recent searches are going to be available to us here. I can click on one of these names and it will add them to the incident. It'll ask me for a relationship over here. I can say this individual is a witness. I can also edit his name record if I choose to. It will bring this up, and you'll notice all these fields coincide with what is in a Spillman law, a Spillman name record. I can modify anything on here that I need to. If you'll recall, that little symbol right there tells us this address has been validated. And then I can just click on a tab that I need to work on. For instance, the driver's license. I can say that he has no restrictions and he has a motorcycle endorsement, and it will update his existing record. Any IDs, I can look at this and say that he may have some alert codes. Click on these, and remember, with the detail field, I can click the plus button and add as many as I need to. I can take them off by hitting the minus sign. I can go through traits, I can fill out additional addresses. Miscellaneous information about this individual. It's easy to add an alias record if I need to by clicking on New Alias, and I'll be able to add an alias record, and I can add critical notices. When I'm done modifying this record, in the bottom right, I click Save, and it will give me a heads up if any of the fields don't have information in them that exists in the code table. So when I click Save, it will accept the change. I can add more people if I need to. If I choose to add someone from the list, great. If not, I can always click on New Search. It will bring me to mobile and allow me to do a search from here. I'll look for a Flutie in local names. I'm going to select Sherelle. Once I've opened that, you'll see when I go back here to click Add, Sherelle is now available to me. I don't have to close the form and reopen it like I had to with previous forms. I can select her name, add her to it. It'll ask for a relationship. You'll note if I put something like victim, it will ask me for information related to victim, that sort of thing. So it may ask for an offender, assault, homicide circumstances, different things like that if they apply. I can also remove an individual by clicking Remove up here if I need to. Vehicles works the same way. I can click Add and select a vehicle that I've searched for, give it a relationship. I can edit that vehicle record if I choose to, same way I did a name record. Go through, fill out status, incident, owner, addresses, any additional information that I need to put in here. When I'm done, I click Save if I had changed some, and it would update the record in Spillman. Again, if the vehicle does not exist on my recent searches list, I can click New Search, and it will allow me to go in here and look for any vehicles in the system, allow me to use them to populate the form. So I have a vehicle come up. Once I've opened that record, when I go over here to click Add, you'll see it's now available to me, this Chevrolet C10. I can add that to the list. Under Property, I can click Add. If there's something in there that I've done a search for, I can always put it in. It'll add it to the list. I can also click Add and click Add New. Create one from scratch if I choose to. But if you'll recall, in Spillman there's the Add Spacebar function. It's really handy because you can create a duplicate record. That can be accomplished by clicking on Duplicate over here. When I click on Duplicate, it duplicates this particular record. Then I only have to go in and change what is different about it. I can change what's different about this particular record. Click Save, and now you'll notice I have two pieces of property in here. You may have noticed too, with each of these tabs, there's a printer icon next to it with a check mark. Persons, vehicles, property, so on and so forth. If I unselect that printer icon, that will make it so that when I go to Summary and print it out, it will not add that to it. So let's say, for instance, I have a victim on here and I do not want that individual's information being printed out in my summary. I just uncheck that and it won't print that individual out. Lastly, we come to Narrative. Under Narrative, I can cut and paste if I choose to in here. There's a spell checker. I can also add templates. If you use templates, you can select one of them from here. Otherwise, you can free text in here and type in whatever information you need to. I can add supplements if I need to by clicking on Add Supplement. Put in my supplement here. I can remove it if I need to. When I'm done, I can click Save down here in the bottom right. If I'd like to, I can also look at a summary if I want. When I click Save, that will submit it to the server. It puts it in that particular incident. The incident number is available right up here. If I go look at that incident, I will see these updates. When I click on Summary, you'll notice that it's laid out so that it's nice and easy to read. I can scroll through here and look at this information. And notice under Persons, because I unchecked the victim's name, she does not show up here, so I won't have to print that off. My narratives are here, vehicles are here, so on and so forth. And I have a print button down here in the bottom right. I can close this form out if I need to. When this particular incident, if I look at it again, you will see that it will have been updated with the information that I added to it. Individuals that I added to it, involvements that I added to it, and I can always go in here, click Summary again, and make updates to it if I need to as well. If I wanted to add a complainant, responding officers, whatever I need to, I can add to this by clicking on Summary and reopening that form. Once that form is opened up, click on Report, click on Incident, and can add whatever information I need to in here. Say responding officers. I can add more in here if I need to. So for whatever reason, if I got pulled off, I can come back here and work on it. Find my address, click Select, validate that, add a complainant if I need to, save it, and it will update this particular screen. Of course, it has to be refreshed to see the updates. You'll see now we've got a complainant in here, responding officers, responsible officers, so on and so forth. So it's relatively simple, easy to use once you get used to it. It is a little bit different. Being integrated into Spillman, it is quite trouble-free and very user-friendly. That concludes this video. And